The only wholesaling course you ever are going to need. What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And we are going to give you pretty much our complete entire free guide on how to get started in wholesaling real estate in 2026. And so 2026 is upon us. It's very quick.
That's coming.
And we're here to break down exactly the strategies that work in wholesaling real estate so you can go out here and make a ton of money in wholesaling. So this is the only course, the only guide you need in wholesaling so you can go out here and have a ton of success in wholesaling real estate. And so we're going to break down exactly how to find motivated sellers, how to close them, how to find cash buyers, and any specific questions you have for wholesaling. We're going to drop it today and share with it so you can have success wholesaling real estate. And so the first question I always get is, okay, well, first and foremost, what in the world is wholesaling real estate? Well, wholesaling real estate is simply the process of finding people who want to sell their property.
Mm-hmm.
You write an agreement, and then you sell that agreement to a rich landlord or house flipper for a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 finder's fee. That is what wholesaling real estate is. Pretty dang simple. You make a ton of money doing it. But the whole entire point of this is you are going to make a lot of money really dang quick. Now, I am really good at making people money in wholesaling real estate. You are too. And every single day we get someone that sends us a check, say, Zach, you changed my life. Thank you so much. Made 30 grand from you, 100 grand from you this year. I made 20 grand this month, right? And we see people's lives change every single day here. And that's what makes it so exciting and so amazing. So let's break this down and let's get into it. So I think the first hot button question I always get, and this is always one of my funniest ones, is like, Zach, is wholesaling legal? Are we going to prison for wholesaling real estate? So again, I want to say this very clearly. I'm not a lawyer. You're not a lawyer either.
No.
I cannot give law advice. But the art of wholesaling real estate is pretty much to wholesale a house is legal in all 50 states. Now, the question is, do you need a real estate license or not to do it? It's really up to, the state specifically. But for most states, you do not need a real estate license to wholesale. Illinois, it's a weird one, right? We do deals in Illinois. And so it's like, am I going to tell you to get a license or not? I mean, most title companies don't care anymore because they have interpreted the law as you don't need it. I'll say Illinois, be careful. There are other states that apparently have banned wholesaling, but people that license are wholesaling all day. Most title companies don't care because they actually read the law. They have lawyers at the title company. So if you're freaking about wholesaling real estate, I'll be honest with you, it is well and alive, and a lot of people are doing really good with it.
Yeah.
I mean, all I could tell you, and this was how I'm going to say this the nicest way. There are people without a real estate license in all 50 states that are going to close a deal this month. It's just true. It's just an absolute fact.
With all that fear and threat,
Illinois,
like I'm going
Oklahoma, South Carolina, you guys mentioned a state in the comments. There's somebody without a real estate license who is using a lawyer who is closing a deal. Take that as you will. Yeah. Wholesaling real estate is not legal. Everyone wants to tell me that. One of the craziest things I've ever seen. So what is wholesaling real estate compared to real estate investing? So again, I like to say this, make it real simple, but wholesaling real estate is not investing. It's not real estate investing at all, okay? You are selling a contract. You are not owning the house. Make that very clear again. A lot of people want to pretend that we're real estate investors or we're realtors and we're showing houses. No. That is not what we do here. Mm-hmm. What we do is we write contracts and sell them. That's what we do here. Now, wholesaling real estate is an income-producing activity. It's an income-producing strategy. The whole point and why you're listening to us is it produces income. That's the whole point. It makes moolah. That's why you're watching, okay? That's why you're watching it right now. It produces income, okay? This is why you're watching this right now. So we're here to make a ton of money. Again, one of the greatest things about wholesaling real estate, and I'll keep screaming from the rooftops forever, is you need no money and you need no experience to get started in wholesaling. Absolute none of it. Anybody who has no money at all, they can start learning wholesaling and make $30,000 next month. Like, no joke. In the next month, you can make $30,000 if you have no money at all with wholesaling real estate. I've seen it in my eyes. I've helped countless people do it now. You've seen it all the time, right? You need no money, right?
No, the beauty of wholesaling is The reason why most of you guys are attracted to what we're talking doesn't require capital. It doesn't care about your education background. It doesn't care about your ethnic ethnicity. Doesn't care about what sex you are. It doesn't care about your political affiliation. Doesn't care about your religious. And that's all great. And we love it for it. It is the most undiscriminating business I've ever been a part of. But I will tell you this, man, as nice it is to that, if you do not put in the work, it will go find the people that will actually make the calls, reach out, talk to motivated sellers, and put deals together. And just because it lets you in, it doesn't mean it's a free ride. You actually have to do the work. So if you're willing to put up the work, take an incredible amount of action, get uncomfortable, get scared, because that's what's going to happen. You're not physically going to risk anything. You can make a ton of money in wholesaling. Guys, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So as attractive as it is, you're watching this, you're going to have to commit to put in the work to do it. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to work, wholesaling is not going to work for you. And you have to understand you're going to have to take an incredible amount of action. End of story. Now, if you're willing to do it, you're in the right seats. I know I did it. I know Zach did it. I know countless other people I've worked with out here. The one thing that you can't change is these people went out there, they talked to a ton of sellers that needed to sell, and they figured it out and they failed forward fast. Meaning your first few deals are probably going to be painful, but you will learn from every interaction you have with people. And after a while, you get in a pattern, you get in a rhythm, and we focus primarily on marketing. So if you got the guts, step up and do it. But as easy as it is to come in, it's just as easy to go out.
Oh yeah.
Be one of the few exceptional people that actually put in the work. Remember, guys, if wholesaling was easy, everybody would do it. So you want to have a certain level of difficulty to make sure that people like you and me can always do wholesaling. It's never changed. I've been doing this 23 years. The same problems I have now in 2025 going in 2026 that I had in 2003. You just had to step up, take an incredible amount. I had no idea what I was doing when I started. I just didn't quit. And if you'll do the same thing, wholesaling will reward you nicely.
Always, 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 always. So this is how to wholesale real estate step by step. Now, this is from our Gin Games this year, which is always fun. But basically, wholesaling real estate is 4 simple steps. Number 1, you find a motivated seller. You generate a list of people who potentially could want to sell their property, right? Mm-hmm. Then you go out here and market to them, right? Basically, you find people who want to sell the property, preferably for a discount, which we'll show you exactly how to do that today. Then what we're going to do is we're going to sign an agreement, sign a contract to buy that house for the lowest possible price. Then we're going to go find a cash buyer. We're going to find a rich landlord or house flipper to buy our house for above the purchase price. Then we're going to assign, basically sell the contract to that cash buyer for a fat finder's fee. That is what we do here. Now, wholesaling real estate is simply 3 parts. Now, most people want to go out here and complicate it. They want to go out here and say, "Oh, it's so advanced, it's so crazy, it's all these crazy." Wholesaling real estate is 3 simple things. Again, you find people who want to sell their property for cash for hopefully a discount. That is, by the way, that's 80% of the work. You want to find people who want to sell their house for a discount. That is what we call marketing. All right. You use all these fancy names and fancy schmancy ways, but like, that's what it is. You find people who want to sell their property for a discount. That is what marketing is. Then you're going to negotiate and write up a contract to buy the property for hopefully a good price. That's called acquisitions. I don't really call it closing too much anymore because you're just writing up a contract to buy it and you qualify these sellers. Then you sell the contract to the rich landlord or house flipper for a massive finder's fee. We call this dispositions, whatever you want to call it here, right? So the first part here is finding motivated sellers. How do you go out here and find a motivated seller? That's the $1 million question. How do you go out here and do it? It's pretty simple. Okay. You do this by going out here and pulling lists and calling people, texting people. There's so many strategies to talk about today, but basically marketing again is how we find these sellers who want to sell for a discount due to a motivating circumstance. Now, the first question people always ask me, especially when they get in wholesaling real estate, is like, "Oh my gosh, Zach, like, okay, I get wholesaling. This makes sense. All right, I get it. But what I don't understand is why would somebody who has a $300,000 house sell their house for $250,000, then you sell that for $300,000, make $50,000? Why does that even happen?" That's the first question, right? Well, the reason is there is a motivating circumstance, right? Usually they're not paying their mortgage. Maybe their house is too ugly. I mean, the way I like to describe this is why would somebody in their right mind, we're talking about houses, because if you own a house, you have some equity, maybe got your net worth is over 300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would somebody, and again, this is just, we're going to go like really low level and then we're going to go higher up on this. Okay. Why would somebody who is broke, they have $100 in their bank account. We visualize that $100 in the bank account. Why would they go buy $15 of dinner at Chipotle? Why in the world would they go to Chipotle and drop $15 on dinner if you have $100 in your bank account? Is that what you would do?
I'm not a Chipotle guy.
No, but like, let's say, would you go to if you have $100 in your bank account, would you spend $15 to go to Chipotle for dinner?
No, I'd probably go get some ramen noodles.
Right,
And, like get it done.
okay.
But like but now you got Uber Eats. So
Well, I'm getting there.
okay.
So, well, I don't want to go cook it. I don't want to go to the store. I just want it
don't
ready
either.
there. I want speed and I want convenience.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds crazy. Chipotle is stealing money because how much is Chipotle? You know, it's rice, chicken, and some tomatoes.
Don't forget the guac.
No, guac's extra.
It's $5 extra now.
So the real question here, I know this sounds insane, but it's like, why in the world would somebody in their right mind go to Chipotle 50? You could make the ingredients for $4. Well, I got to spend 45 minutes cooking. I got to season. Like, oh, for speed and convenience, you're willing to spend more money than just doing it yourself. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting concept. Okay, why would somebody drop $30 to Uber Eats their Chipotle when they got $100 in their bank account? Because they're lazy. They want speed and ease and convenience, right? They don't want to drive all the way out there.
That's their priority at that moment.
So that first and foremost, Americans, they will spend a lot of money for speed and convenience, right? They will do a lot for it. So just to understand, speed and convenience is how people give discounts on things. So let's go here. Let's say you have $100 in your bank account and you're trying to like sell your car. Your car is worth $3,000. You go to the used car dealership and they offer to trade in your car and for $2,000, but my car's worth $3,000.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. And a lot of people in here have been in that situation. You just trade in the car. You don't deal with it. You don't go meet Eduardo behind a back alley at a Starbucks to test drive the car at 7 p.m. at night.
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace.
You don't want to go. You don't want to Facebook.
Place,
you don't want Facebook Marketplace the car. You don't want to go to someone's house. You don't want them going to your place.
Can I leave you $1,000 now and then come back in a week and leave the other $2,000? Sure.
Yeah,
you get a lot of that.
Like, it's a little weird, right?
Everybody hates it because it's a security issue. Listen, most people don't like
it's
to
a lot of work
and do all that stuff, and so that's why they have these speed and convenience, especially at car dealers. I think more. What percentage of people think trade their cars in versus privately sell it? I bet it's pretty high.
It's pretty dang high.
At least 50%.
Oh yeah.
Probably closer to 60, 70.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So just understand this. Most people will go they'll lose $1,000, which is 10 times more than got their bank account, just so they can simply not deal with selling the car. Titles, registration, there's so much work, right?
Yeah. So
let's we're graduating now. Okay. Same thing with houses. To sell a house, it has to go on the market. You have to parade people through the house. They have to take pictures of it. You have to go through the whole shebang. Oh, there's a showing. Got to get out of the house. You got to go through all this stuff. Oh, the repairs. Hey, for this to be sold for the highest price, we have to repair the roof. There's no loan that will get done for that disgusting roof. It's leaking. Well, Mr. Realtor, I don't have $20,000. Brokey. That's what a realtor usually thinks in their mind. Yep. Why don't you drop 30 grand so I make more in commission? Well, I can't afford, and this is the truth. People get way in their over their heads in a mortgage, and they think a mortgage is the only cost, and then they have a $40,000 roof bill, and they're like, I don't have 40 grand just to drop. I literally spend everything I make. Magic. So I can't do that. Well, you can't get the highest price. Oh no. And then you go through this whole thing, right? Now, the funniest thing about it is people, if you offer, how about I just buy your house for cash, which basically means I go write an agreement, we buy the house, it gets closed in 30 days. Take my money. And because they do the math, they're like, wait, I have to pay a realtor 6%, closing costs, all these commissions. It's like 12%. That's ridiculous. So if I sell my house for $100,000 on the market, I probably net 88 grand after everything. And you're looking to buy my house for what? 70? I mean,
And there's no guarantee you're going to get the
there's no
88 either.
guarantee.
It
So,
could go the
I just take
opposite
it.
way.
I'll just go take it. And so it's the same thing Chipotle, same thing the pawn shop, same thing the used car dealership. It's like people trade speed and convenience. So a lot of people say you steal. I got one say you steal houses from people. I
Yeah.
don't steal anything.
You
People
don't
are
make
so happy.
anybody sell your property. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, speed and convenience are the pillars. There's one third one that most people overlook when it comes to wholesaling. You ever had something that's bothering you so much, you would do anything to get certainty to get it done?
Yeah.
Most people, they get overwhelmed with the house, the idea of hiring a realtor to do the repairs, a general contractor. You know, Rick, if you could just buy this house and solve my problem, and I know I could rely on you, dude, certainty is one of the strongest things you can sell when it comes to a wholesale deal. Because if you ever had such a pressing problem and someone actually gives you a solution, you don't have to show the house, you don't have to pay the realtor, you know
Oh,
the
yeah.
exact day we're closing, you know the exact net amount you're getting, and now you can go focus on mom and move up to North
Oh, yeah.
Carolina. Guys, speed, convenience. I would do the third one is definitely certainty, because if you can solve their problem and they go, oh my God, I got a solution. Remember, you can't buy their house if you can't solve the seller's problem. Forget about price. You got to find the problem to solve. So
Oh, yeah.
certainty is like the biggest thing you can take off a seller's back. Like, oh my God, thank God you're going to take over this beast of an animal. Like, these tenants have drove me nuts. Like, I can't afford this house anymore. When they know it's coming to an end, like, they will let out a huge sigh of relief. But you have to build up and you have to get the story behind it to get to it. So speed, convenience, a big part of it. Certainty ties that whole entire package together because they know what the final outcome is going to be. But you got to live up to that expectation and get it done in wholesaling.
There we go. And so it's why do people do it? Because of speed and convenience. And then this is where we can make a profit because we can go lock up a prop for 70 grand and sell it for 80 and make $10,000.
Yep.
Whoa. 10 grand next month? Whoa. You're telling me I can make $10,000 next month doing 5 hours a week of work. And all I had to do is find someone who just wants to sell their house for cash. Guys, this is why I scream on my live streams. This is why I release so many videos. I need to let the world know exactly how to wholesale houses because it's the greatest. I'm obsessed with wholesaling.
Yeah,
I love it so
much.
And
guys, in the beginning, I'm here to tell you, you got to kind of set your wholesale compass and look for the right deals. Because the biggest problem when anybody starts out wholesaling, you just go, oh my God, there's so many houses out there I have to buy. And a lot of you run straight to the MLS right off the bat. I'm not saying you can't get a deal off an MLS, but remember, the best deals you ever get in wholesaling are people who need to sell their house. Remember, everybody wants to sell a house. A select few need to sell a house. The people that want, they can eventually join the need side, but the need never joins to the want side. So if you can focus on people who need to sell, which I know we're going to go over all of it, government lists, everything else you do, is they're more apt to make a decision. People who want to sell the nice, pretty house with the white picket fence, with the perfect story, they need a realtor because they need a salesperson because they want tippy top dollar. I do not play that game. Do not waste your time. If you want to be super busy, then go around and try to buy people's houses that want to sell it. I've tried it. We've all tried it. It's a huge waste of time. You're going to have to wait at least a year or two, even get those people ripened to take your offer. So think about a property that goes on MLS with a nice, pretty realtor, and they want full price. And you come in with your 50, 60 cent offer on the deal. It's just a waste of time. So find people who need to sell. And there's plenty of people, guys. There's so many houses in the United States, but I'm just telling you, if you want to get busy and buy a bunch of courses and like everything sounds perfect, you're just going to get on a hamster wheel and you're going to exhaust yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Focus on people that have some sort of motivating situation where they need to sell. Maybe they're in foreclosure. Maybe it's a probate. Maybe it's a tax delinquency. Maybe it's a code violation. Maybe they're arrested. Maybe it's fire damage. But all those things are people that are going to have to cut a deal to get out of their situation. Now, we help them out. It has to be a win-win situation. But guys, the biggest mistake I see newbies making is they just chase everybody out there that owns a house. It's like going to your parents and saying, Mom, Dad, will you sell me your house 50 cents on the dollar? They're going to like, get the hell out of here. And a lot of you do that. And then you run out of gas. Spend your energy on focusing on marketing and find your wholesale compass and set it to people who need to sell their house, preferably off market, direct to seller. Marketing is the number one skill set you can learn in wholesaling. If you master marketing, you can do anything you want in real estate. Don't believe me? Go out and look at the people that are the best of the best in real estate. Almost every one of them have a strong foundation of wholesaling. Because if you can learn how to make money with no money, imagine what you can do when you actually spend marketing dollars. But guys, we're here to show you if you're broke, if you got a ton of money, there's always a way to get this done. But guys, wholesaling is magical. Remember, you need to focus on people who need to sell their house.
Exactly. So that's what marketing is all about here. So you got to find people with motivating circumstances, right? They're going through a divorce. The grass is tall. They're not cutting it. It's ugly. There's vacant properties. These are houses. People are just sitting there. No one's living in the house. That's crazy. You could literally call them, text them, send mail, like reach out to these people and find them, right? Now, what is acquisitions? Again, this is closing somebody, right? So how we acquire contracts to sign to buy the house. So we can go out here and sell the contract for a profit. You are not a typical salesperson. You are more of a qualifier, an interviewer type person. We got you covered here on what to say, and we are going to get you to the point. Okay. You're basically acting at this point. Say what we got to get to go out here and get the deals. Now, dispositions are simple too. This is the process of selling your contract for a profit. It's the easiest one about all of them. And we'll show you exactly how to do it and master it. So the real question today is, okay, well, how in the dang world do I go out here and find motivated sellers, AKA wholesaling deals? Well, unfortunately, 80% of wholesaling real estate is legitimately finding motivated sellers. Like that is the hardest part. So if you master this, you master wholesaling real estate. Now, in 2026, these are what I have personally found are what I'm calling the best ways to find wholesaling deals in 2026. Okay, we're going to start from the top all the way to the bottom. All right, so I think we got some of them covered up, but I think it's fine. So again, from the top to the bottom, what are the best ways to find real estate wholesaling deals in 2026? Let's start from the top, which would be the cheapest, all the way to the most expensive. Now, this is a descending order, which means it gets easier and easier and easier to get deals. Now, this might not come as a shock to most, but if you throw more money into marketing, the easier it is to find deals. If you give me a $20,000 marketing budget, you will be able to get 6 deals a month, and it won't even be that much work. Now, if you say, Zach, I have no money, then I'm going to tell you, you got to work really hard. That is just the simple fact of life. And it's not easy, but I'm telling everyone right now, if I did the wholesaling, YouTube, social media, right? If I did this just to make money off of mentorship, what I would legitimately tell you to do, and this is just me being selfish, I would tell you, you need to drop $7,000 a month in marketing. If you don't, you're not a real man. You're not a real wholesaler. You're not a real legit professional in this business. You are a brokey loser. Go out here, borrow money from your grandma, go out here and get 17 credit cards. Let me show you how to get a third home equity line of credit. And you need to borrow that $7,000 so you can pay me $7,000 for my course. Now you need to spend $10,000 in marketing. We're probably going to have to rob a bank. That's fine. Or go get another loan, sell a kidney, and then spend $10,000 a month in marketing. And you're going to get all the leads coming in. Go out here crazy, drop $10,000 on Facebook ads, and you'll have 300 leads. Close one of them, and I become a success story, and I'm the greatest coach of all time. That's what I would do if I'm just looking to squeeze money out of you, right? I mean, what would you do? Very similar, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean,
maximum money. You have to steal as much money from people.
I'm not anti-course, but the problem is if you have to buy a course on a credit card because you don't have the money and hoping you can get a deal done in the next 30 days, I think it's irresponsible and it's actually quite reckless. Some information might confuse you. I'm not opposed to it, but the reality is a lot of people that are watching this live stream, you have financial constraints. So number one, you got to be honest with yourself. If you don't have the money, I didn't have the money when I started wholesaling. I had to go dig and go door to door and get 2 to 3 deals before I could even spend my first dime on marketing. So it's okay. Like sometimes you just don't have it. I don't believe anybody should go borrow money from mom and dad or from Aunt Linda or whoever it is to stroke a big expensive real estate course. Because it just, guys, here's the reality. You drop 5, 7, 10 grand, you're just going to be in a deeper hole in 30 days. Yeah. Because a lot of these courses, if that was just the price of the course, but when you find out I got to get this type of software, I got to get this type of lead service, I got to sign up for this. I got to get a list stacking. And like
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's $2,500 in unexpected cost. Now I've paid what, 7-10 grand. I have all that cost. I'm 20 grand in the hole and no sight of a deal coming down. And when I get people in front of me, I really don't know how to talk to them. I lack the confidence, and it's a vicious cycle. Listen to me, guys. I've never seen somebody buy their way out of wholesaling. In fact, I will tell you this. If you can learn to wholesale with little to no money, a little bit of money helps. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, yeah.
But if you can do it with little to no money, imagine what you can do when you're given a marketing budget. You know exactly how to deploy it. You know exactly what the expectation is. You know what your ROI is. But the problem, I get people all the time and go, Rick, I got 50 or 100 grand to say. You know what I tell them? I go, you might want to shut your mouth because someone's going to take it from you. And unfortunately, it's not going to go to the highest and best. So if you do that, some people think they can just skip the learning curve of wholesaling. Everybody has to endure it. I don't care how much money you have. Even if you go, Rick, I want to run a wholesale business. That's fine. You're going to have to pay people very large 6-figure salaries to run everything for you. And eventually they're going to price you out of the market. So if you want to learn how to do it, I want to see you cut your teeth and put in the time. I don't care if you got a 50 or 100 grand. It just means you're going to go through the money faster than anyone else. Because if I spent 10 grand on direct mail and never did a deal, how much pressure you think it is when you get those 5 hot leads? You're going to freak out. And you're going to, oh my God, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be another 10 grand in the hole. And listen, you already have enough doubts about wholesaling. The last thing you need is that pressure. So if you go through and actually cut your teeth on, you make all the calls, you do everything, you get this thing called reps. And when you get reps in, think of like Michael Jordan, just sitting there making those free throws. After a while, it starts to become second nature. In the beginning, it's extremely awkward. The last thing you want to do is practice on very expensive leads. So if you're going to do PPL or PPC and you're brand new to the business, I can't imagine a more stressful way to try to close someone. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Worst case scenario is you're going to reach to do a deal just to get that dopamine rush as I got a deal. And you might lose money, or worse, the deal is going to fall apart and you work for free. Guys, you need to find people that need to sell their house, and you need to find the fastest path directly to them. And if you don't have money, be brutally honest with yourself. You're going to have to door knock, reverse driving for dollars, sticky notes on the doors. You're going to have to do driving for dollars, and you're going to have to network and find JV partners. But I promise you this, if you can endure that and you can get up to 3 to 5 deals by doing that, man, you are going to be super, super excited in wholesaling, because that means you've got the moxie to survive in wholesaling. And if you can do that with some money and some guidance and direction, you can do some crazy things. The reality is the coaching, listen, it's all over the board. I can only speak for what we do. The reality is newbies are the biggest target in the business, and they're more eager to separate with their money than anybody else. The reality is go to freewholesaling.com, learn the basics, the fundamentals, see what you're getting into, and make sure. And if you can do a deal or two off of that, man, like amazing things can happen. And go back and remember the people that believed in you when nobody else would support you. Nobody else would give you the education. We just give it to you. That's why I've been in wholesaling for 23 years. That's how I operate. That's how you operate. And we believe everybody should have a fair opportunity to do wholesaling. So why? Because I used to be the broke wholesaler. Nobody believed in me. And eventually I just took some risks. Some people like partnered up with me, but I had to carry my own weight. And how many Ricks and Zachs and all these other people are out there that they just shy away from wholesaling, and we lose them because they feel like nobody would pay attention to them because they didn't have any money. I find these people to be the absolute best wholesalers of all time, period. End of story. So if you can make it for free, once I give you the gift of money and a marketing budget, you will be so excited. You'll do so much damage. And we just got to get people started. There's so many talented people that we need to bring into wholesaling, and that's my mission.
There we go. And I'll be honest, if I was in this business, I would have not done a 27-hour live stream on wholesaling. I just hope, I don't think people really, last month I did a 27-hour live stream. We went live for 27 hours straight.
It sucked.
I had a great time. It was fun.
I was getting delusional.
I was off. I was high off of Dots, pretzels, and Mexican Coke. But I'm telling you,
if you ever want to top that, you just
that was bad. I'd say anyone who wants to top that can top that. But guys, I went live for 27 stinking hours straight.
Well, next time, can I at least lay in the bed and do a couple hours laying down?
That was rough.
We'll just bring in the couch out in the lobby there.
I went live for 27 hours and just talked about wholesaling real estate. It was insane. So guys, I have a passion for this business. I can tell you, I can get you really rich in here. So let's talk about it. If you want to find a wholesaling deal in 2026 and you don't got any money at all, let's start from the top. You pull government lists. They cost no money at all. And you call them. You pull a government list, you call them. Really simple. I have a free real estate wholesaling course. I'm going to throw on the bottom. It's called freewholesaling.com. We will teach you how to wholesale real estate completely for free.
Mm-hmm.
In that course, I give you, it's a free course, by the way, Black Friday special, free wholesaling course. Basically, we'll give you the government lists. We'll show you how to get them for free and how to skip trace them for free. On top of that, too, number two, one of the other greatest ways to find motivated sellers is by texting the government lists. Google Voice is a great way to do it. It's a little bit of work, but it's free. What else do you expect? Okay. Now, next here, reverse drawing for dollars. One of by far my favorite ways out here in wholesaling. Okay. It's insanity to me right now. Okay. Reverse drawing for dollars. I've said this publicly, and I said this in a video the other day I was recording, but I don't think I've ever found someone who put 100 sticky notes out a week that has not gotten a deal after a year. It just doesn't, it physically doesn't happen. You know why? Because it's so much volume, it's impossible for you not to do work. And that's only like 30 hours a week.
Yeah.
You'll be blasting Wu-Tang Clan, putting sticky notes out all dang day and getting a ton of great results. Guys, if you ever just want to get a ton of deals really quick, pull the pre-foreclosures, which are free. Go to freewholesaling.com, show you how to do it. Then you're just going to go grab a sticky note from the dollar store, write on the sticky note, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Slap that on the door and do that for every pre-foreclosure in your area. You will get a wholesaling deal. They're going to call you inbound. You get all these inbound leads. You're going to be rolling in the dough. It's like $20 a month. Now, the more expensive ways to do it, but these are way easier and the chance of your success in wholesaling drastically increases, is you go to xleads.com. That is by far the greatest wholesaling real estate software of all time. Just let everybody know it's the greatest wholesaling software ever. And legitimately, for $150 a month, that is your lead engine. That's all you got to do. You go to X Leads, you pull the high equity list in your area, and you throw them on our single line dialer. You can get the triple line dialer. X Leads has both, and you just call the leads. And if you can do at least 20 hours a week of doing that, you can easily make 100 grand a year. No joke. 20 hours a week, 100 grand a year. Then from there, you can start doing more advanced marketing. On top of that too, I absolutely love text blasting. Text blasting has been kind of semi-dead for a little bit until I revived it with X Leads. And basically with X Leads, it's about a penny per text. The closest competitor to X Leads charges over 3 cents a text. I would say 5 cents, but I don't get in trouble. It's like 3 to 6 cents a text.
It's crazy.
So on X Leads, if you want to text 20,000 people a month, it would cost you about $200. Using a competitor, it might cost you $1,000 a month. Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts, man.
It's literally insane. And I could probably triple the price of X Leads. People will be getting it, but I'm not greedy. So I'm telling everybody on here, $300. So X Leads is so dang cheap. It's $97 a month. You get 25,000 skip traces included. You get e-signing. You get an entire CRM. You get 25,000 exports with the skip traces, comping, get our AI SMS. I mean, you literally get everything, right? So you get data, skip trace data, everything all included. You get the comping, right? You get a CRM, you get e-signing, you get a whole disposition suite. I'll show it's insane. $97 a month. It's amazing. But yeah, you can literally text blast motivated sellers, make a ton of money doing it. But what I'd probably say for everybody in here, if you're somebody who says, Zach, I think I saw a comment on there. I'll share everyone on here. I got this comment. I'll pop it up really quick. Bless Will says, what's your acquisition strategy if you don't have time to cold call due to a job? If you have a job and you do not want to call sellers, you don't want to text sellers, you don't want to do sticky notes, you're full-time busy, I would tell you, I would go to joinm2m.com, join our paid school group, and go out here and use our VAs that we have inside of Join M2M. The reason is, if you're not going to use Join M2M, it's probably about $6 an hour to go out here and use a VA service. And it'd be a call center and they will call the leads for you. But $6 an hour is pretty dang expensive. And nobody does it for below $6 an hour because it's very thin margins on the call center. Well, me and Rick found a way to do it. So we're literally basically giving you a call center for free. So if you want to go do that, you go to joinm2m.com. You can literally use the VAs for $4.50, manage Everything's done for you. It's really cool. And for about $1,000 a month, it's the only call center you can get for that. You just got to join m2m.com. And because you're in the paid school group, we're able to give you the VAs literally at cost, which is really cool. And you get one-on-one mentorship from our coaches and us too. We help a lot of people. We do 3 coaching calls every single week on there, and we help you. And the best part about it is we guarantee your first deal in 90 days or you get your money back. And it's pretty awesome. The only reason we do this is we basically want to teach people how to wholesale real estate, and we just guarantee their first deal in 90 days. It's never been done before in wholesaling, and the success is, I think, over 90%.
It's with the accountability.
It's
you
insane.
have to do the work, and then you get 3 lives a week too. So you always have somebody to talk to. And, we have probably the most active community in all of wholesaling, as you guys know, with freewholesaling.com. And then we have our private group, M2M, which is, everybody just wants to help everybody out. So we're all serious wholesalers. It's what we do. And you always have a lifeline to someone to talk to. So it's, instead of just having 1 or 2 people teach it to you, you have an entire team and an organization, and everyone's trying to get everybody over the finish line. So, but you got to put in the work, because if you're not going to make the calls and stuff, no guarantee in the world's going to help you. Like the only thing I can guarantee is if you put in the work, I will guarantee your success. If you're not going to put in the work, it's going to take you a lot more time. And so we put the onus back on you by showing you how to do the KPIs, how many calls, how many texts, everything you got to do, and using your X leads account to optimize so that your follow-up on your leads, we call it LMP, to make sure you maximize. Because guys, 70% of our deals come from the follow-up. Very rarely, guys, see, when I meet a motivated seller, even if they're perfect, off-market direct seller that needs to sell, there's always something. Well, I have to wait till my mom's house is ready, and I got to wait 2 or 3. So everybody, it's a timing issue. So if you use automations, back when I started wholesaling in 2003, we'd work anywhere from 300 to 500 leads a month. I could manually follow up with them. It was tedious. It was annoying. It was a really old school file. I thought Google Sheets was the most amazing thing that ever came in my life. And we fast forward past Podio, all the other CRMs. And now we have X leads that will do everything for you, from e-signing to AI conversations. Everything's automated. So the thing that's changed going into 2026, you need a tremendous amount of volume. Well, if I'm working 20, 25,000 leads in a month, if you think you can do it by memory, you're crazy. And I know you can't afford to hire 5 or 7 people. So you've got to embrace AI inside of X leads to automate that text, to automate that email, to automate any type of phone call you got to make to them. Because if I'm working like 80,000 leads, I promise you, there's a handful of people that need to sell today. How are you going to get to them? You're going to have a software to get it done. Why not use a software that's designed by wholesalers, created by wholesalers, to appease the common issues that all wholesalers face? And guys, I believe me and Zach are the only wholesalers that actually own a software company that come on here and actually talk to you. And actually, every Saturday we come on, show you tips and tricks. Why? Because we care about it. Because at the end of the day, are we perfect? No. But I will tell you, we wanted to make a change for you. So
exactly. And so I'm just telling everybody, if you don't want to call or text yourself, which most people should be doing it, just go to joinm2m.com. Now, the reason why we can give a 90-day guarantee is we don't let anybody in M2M. If you have at least a $500 a month marketing budget, we will personally guarantee you get your first deal in 90 days. Why? Because you keep accountable every single day. If you want to check it out, go to joinm2m.com. But honestly, for most people, I'll be real, like most people, you don't need to be dropping that. All you need really is X leads and just a lot of work, and you'll get a lot of great deals. If you don't have any money, it gets a million times more difficult, but you can 100% get deals. For a lot of great success stories doing that. But yeah, for most people, when you get your first deal, I would recommend starting calling on the dialer and X leads. If that's the best, okay. So the way I like to frame it is, if you have no money and you don't get a deal a month, you probably have to drop at least 100 hours a week into wholesaling. You have to manually skip trace, which really sucks. Which means you have to go to cyber background checks, True People Search, get the phone number, copy paste. It's a lot of dang work versus just pulling a list, calling 20 hours. It's about 5 times easier using X leads. That's why X leads is the second largest wholesaling software by web traffic in the entire industry, because of one thing, it's literally the best wholesaling software ever. And the other one is not even a wholesaling software. It's not even a wholesaling software. It's mostly real estate agents. But I just say second. It should be first. I could call it number one, but my ego's not there yet. But yeah, that's how you find wholesaling deals in 2026. Okay.
Better to be number two.
So it's better to be number one. But the question we always get is, Zach, well, okay, if I want to call in the dialer, do we do government lists? Yes, you do government lists. You upload the government list into X Leads, and you get this basically all the phone numbers right there. But I'll let everybody know watching this. What are the top government lists to be pulling? Let's actually make this bigger. What are the top government lists for me to be pulling? Well, the top government list for you to be pulling, which I found, is going to be pre-foreclosures, evictions, probates, tax delinquencies, liens, code violations, water shutoffs, arrest records, fire damage properties, and divorce list. Now, some of these are a little more difficult to pull than others. I'll tell you the resistance level, it is a little difficult to get some of these lists, but if you can get them, you'll do really good. So here's really just a quick little simple sheet of how in the dang world do you go pull these government lists? Well, we have found if you want to pull the pre-foreclosures, you go to the county courthouse for it. The evictions, you go to the court. Probates, you go to probate court. You go to the tax collector. You could also go to the property tax collector. The appraiser sometimes has it. Liens are from public records. Code enforcement has code violations. From the utility department, you get the water shutoff list. You get the arrest records from the sheriff's or the county clerk too. Fire damage properties from the fire department, and divorces from the clerk of the court. These are great ways to do it. Most of these have public dockets, so they get publicly posted, and we have the best marketing channels for that. And you could screenshot this for a second. But these are my favorite government lists and how to pull them. And again, I am a broken record, but I get so excited. Okay, I get too pumped up for this. But like, for example, I might shed a tear. I might start crying right now because in my heart, I want to go out here and just pull a probate list and show you how to do it on YouTube right now. I would love to just, here you go. But guess what's going to happen? The video will cease to exist because of privacy policy rules inside of YouTube. So that's why legitimately we have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. And I can put whatever video I possibly want on freewholesaling.com. I choose to do it PG-13. But basically, what I'm assuming by this is we do not have to censor anything. We do not have to do anything that's like, oh, I got to make sure YouTube likes this rule or not. I can legit put whatever I want. And basically, that's what I do inside of freewholesaling.com. I go inside, I pull the data myself, and I show the screenshots. If I posted the videos I have in freewholesaling.com on here, they'd all be taken down.
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying. So, yeah, with everyone, just go to freewholesaling.com. We'll show you exactly how to do it right there. Oh, actually, I can make it bigger. There we go. Cool. So the next system is, what is the type of marketing system we're supposed to be doing? Well, let me show you right here. So the first type of marketing system I would tell you to do, this thing's distracting me on the bottom. You're the one with ADHD. It should be distracting you. But basically, this is exactly what an outbound marketing system looks like. So how do we find motivated sellers? This is like my perfect matrix mix of how to find a motivated seller. So first and foremost, we have list pulling on the left. Then we do an outbound tool. There's free and paid outbound tools. And then we just check on our numbers. And so this might be like, Zach, this thing looks way too confusing for me. It's really not. What you do is you pull a list. On the left-hand side, we have lists, right? So you basically have government lists, which are free. You can go to xleads.com like on a paid list and pull it. Or you can get like a drawing for dollars list. What you do is you get the list, you hit them with your outbound marketing. Now, you can hit them with your free or your paid tools. If you want to stick to free, you can use Google Voice as our texting, a dialer, works really well. Go to cyberbackgroundchecks.com, get their phone number, boom, you're good. Or you can use our paid outbound tools. You can go to xleads.com. It's got free unlimited skip tracing, data, CRM, dialer, texting, all that stuff. And it's technically paid because you got to go to the dollar store, but you go drop sticky notes. Again, this is what our sticky note looks like. Hey, this is Zach, and I had a quick question. Hey, this is Zach, and I had a quick question about your house. Please call me back with your phone number, right? What I would say is you do that enough, you'll be getting deals. Honestly, though, you've got to track your numbers too. So you need to know how many contacts you're getting. So how many people are actually reading your text, reading your call, actually picking up the dang phone for you, right? You need to know how many leads you're producing, how many offers you're making. Again, offers are the biggest indicator of your success in marketing and wholesaling real estate. Then from there, you track your numbers with your outputs and you go to town here, right? Your schedule should be at least 15 hours a week, put at least 100 sticky notes out a week and 500 calls and texts every week, and you will be having success. Now, everybody like, Zach, I don't like reaching out to sellers. I want the sellers coming to me. Well, we have an inbound marketing system too, less fancy, but basically you can use Facebook, Craigslist posts, basically call them digital bandit signs. Use X leads to help you out with voicemail drops inside of our ninja mode. That's pretty much the same type of system here. But the real question is, how in the world do you do that efficiently? Again, going back here, 15 hours a week, that's all you need to be doing, and you will be getting a ton of leads. When you get somebody who says they're looking to sell their property, how in the world do you know what the house is worth? I'll be real with you. I'm going to make this real simple. Nobody knows what the house is worth. There's always a general idea,
Yeah.
but there's not like an exact number. The way I like to describe this is, how much is a signed Thriller album from Michael Jackson in 1985 worth? Does anybody know the exact value? Probably not. You might say, well, it's not worth $1 million, but it's not worth $1. It's worth something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you figure that out? You look on eBay and see what they're selling for.
Yep.
You look for comparables. You know, it's short of comparables, comps.
eBay have comparables?
Well, you see what like their similar
Yeah,
ones
see
are
what
listed
they're
for.
there. Yeah. Remember?
Right.
Yeah. Listed.
So that's what you do. So legitimately what you do is you just see, what are they usually selling for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people hate Michael Jackson and would never even buy it for $1. Some people would spend thousands of dollars for it.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is that signed Michael Jackson CD worth or album worth? It's worth what someone's willing to pay for it. And the only way you can kind of roughly figure it out, there's no exact price. It's just what similar ones are selling for. That is how houses work. See, a lot of people want to get super advanced on offers and calculating. And there's so many variables with what a property is worth. What I've personally found, and this is just my motto, and this is your motto, lowball the person so dang hard, you don't even have to question if you have a deal or not. The way I like to say it is, I call it a no nonsense price, or just like a, it's basically a price you don't have to think about.
Yeah.
It's such a we kind of call it like a no brainer. So we look at the property, you say, okay, me and Rick have been doing this for a while. It's like, what would be such a no brainer if I lock it up for this? Like, if this house, we know cash buyers buying for 200. Oh, if we lock it up for 160, that's a no brainer. We make 50 grand on this deal.
Now, guys, it's one of the biggest problems when people come in the wholesaling, they treat it like being a realtor.
Yeah.
Realtors try to get the exact pricing, and even they don't get it. And the reality is, like, here's a little secret. Other than just the basic value of the property, which you can get off Zillow, you get it from XLeads or whatever. For properties worth 300, that's it. I don't even look at it anymore. And I go make a low offer and I see if there's a motivating factor. It doesn't matter if it's worth 300, 320, or 285,962. It's going to change every day and fluctuate with the market. So you trying to get it perfect, it's just a stall. It's a procrastination technique and used as a crutch. So here's a little hint. I don't even look up the value of the properties. I find out if there's a motivating factor. I get a rough value. I like XLeads. I can pull it up. It's right there at my fingertips. And honestly, I'm gonna offer substantially low on that. Why? Because I want to see if we have room to negotiate. But most people they want to get the perfect comp, and then they want to make the perfect offer so we can get a yes. Guys, that's not how wholesaling works. He or she who pays the most doesn't make any money in wholesaling, and they're out of business quickly. We are in the art of buying low and selling medium. If you want to buy high and try to sell it super high, that's called pure speculation, being a realtor, and the fastest way to lose money. Wholesaling is about minimizing your risk and maximizing your reward. How do you do that? You have to make low offers. People say, I can't believe these guys make these low ball offers. That's how wholesaling actually works. We have to make low offers. We have to set the expectation lows. We're buying problem properties. We're giving people speed, convenience, and certainty. There has to be a level of profit for us to do that. Otherwise, what is the point? We are offering a service like Uber Eats brings foods to your house. We're bringing a problem, having it solved with speed, convenience, and certainty. That's what wholesalers do. We make money in great markets, bad markets. We make money today. Remember, your customers are fix and flippers, speculators, landlords. They take on most of the inherent risk. We sell the dream and we sell the deal of a contract that has money in it. That is what you do, and you got to get laser focused on doing that in wholesaling.
There we go. Simple as that. So I'm telling everybody, figure out how much your deal is worth. If you're a beginner, I would probably just tell you, use ChatGPT, estimate it.
Yeah.
Look at some Zillow comparables, and you're good to go. If you want to use X, there's AI comping on the Pro and X plans. That'd be the easiest one. But really, the best median is just look for comparable properties and figure out what your ARV is. And then we have a offer calculator inside of X Leads. We also have an offer price on X Leads. We also have a free AI offer calculator inside of freelisting.com. So I'd go to freelisting.com. I'll throw it on the bottom again. Easy to go there. We have a whole offer calculation right there. Teach you how to do it right there. Now, us wholesalers, we're not salespeople. So what we basically do again is we talk to motivated sellers. We qualify them by asking them questions. And we give them an offer. So when you find somebody who says, yes, I want to sell my property, we are going to get it locked up. So again, marketing is finding people who want to sell the property. Acquisitions is the art of getting signed contracts from motivated sellers. So what in the world is a motivated seller technically? Again, a motivated seller is someone who wants to sell the property due to a circumstance or motivating factor. Divorce, foreclosure, code violation. They're sick of the upkeep. They're a tired landlord, any of that stuff, right? And so what I found is when you find somebody who wants to sell the property, there are simple 4 questions you ask them. This is like my simple script, okay? If there's somebody who says, Zach, I want to sell my house. All right, I always ask them, MCTP. MCTP. Motivation, condition, time frame, and price. So basically how we ask this is, hey, Mr. Seller, motivation, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, can you tell me why you're looking to sell your property? C, condition. Hey, Mr. Seller, can you tell me more about the property? Can you tell me about the roof, AC, and the repairs that be done in the house? T, time frame. Hey, Mr. Seller, when are you looking to sell the property? P, price. Hey, Mr. Seller, what's a ballpark range you're looking to get rid of the house for? Those are the questions to always ask. But just understand this. The conversation, when you're talking to a motivated seller, it's all about confidence. Now, my definition of confidence has always been, it is a belief in the words you say and the things you do. Confidence is the high level of belief in what you're talking about. If you believe what you're saying, you're going to sound, quote, confident. People who don't believe in what they're saying don't sound confident. My best example of this is I love doing one-on-one calls and one-on-one conversations with people. And people sometimes get very nervous talking to me. I don't know why. I'm a pretty regular person, I guess. But people get very nervous, especially being in front of a camera and they see thousands of people watching them live. And so they get a little, what's going on here? So what I have kind of figured out with people, and this is just a true statement, this is beliefs of confidence, is they talk to a motivated seller. They sound like this. Would you want to sell your property to me? And like, it sounds like that. And if you have them do it 6,000 days in a row, they're going to be like, would you like to sell your property to me? It's like, what happened there? How in the world is that guy? What happened to him? Well, he believes in himself because he's done it 6,000 times. That is it. And so when people have belief, they sound very different than if they don't believe. So for example, if you have ever encountered somebody who gets very nervous when you talk to them, like that, I'm not making fun of them. They sound like that. If you ask them a question about something they love and know very much about, they instantly turn into an expert and they don't have any nerves.
Yeah.
So this is pretty simple, but like if you're going out here talking to someone and they're super nervous, we do this on these live streams all the time, and they get so nervous talking to motivated sellers, and I see like a Fortnite poster. Can you tell, hey, are you good at Fortnite? Oh, I'm very good at Fortnite. Oh, what are your favorite guns and stuff in Fortnite? And then they, I like this one. This one's my favorite map. They sound like an expert.
Yeah.
Oh, because you believe in what you're saying. You believe that's your favorite map in Fortnite. You believe this is your favorite video game, right? Mm-hmm. You sound like an expert. Somebody's super nervous. You say, can you tell me about your favorite football team? Yeah, I love the Bills. What, are they good this year? And then they just go in a whole thing. And they don't have nerves anymore. You know why? Because they believe in what they're saying. It's true.
Yeah.
They believe the Bills are contenders, even though they're not. It's crazy to me. So what I'm basically saying here is your beliefs is everything. So your confidence you're looking for, the special like little pill, it's like the Wizard of Oz. Courage and confidence has been within you the whole entire time. It's up to you to go get it. Right?
Yeah. It's guys, you get your courage and confidence through repetition. After a while, once you kind of do it like it's in your sleep, it becomes second nature to you. Think about like the first time you rode a bike, it was probably miserable, but the reason you did it is because you built up the courage to overcome it because you wanted to get to the other side. Wholesaling is no difference. If you can't get past your fear of talking to people and conversing with them, the only way to get through it is through repetition, doing it over and over. And the old days, we used to have you just call FSBO leads on Zillow and just rip through 300 calls and call me back. Let me know if you survive.
Yep.
And half the people, I couldn't get past call 23. My nerves ate me up. Okay. When you're ready, when the student is ready, wholesaling will be there to help you get through it. But if you aren't going to step up to the plate, give me the next person in line, because I'm going to find someone's going to step up. Guys, I go to plenty of conferences. I go to RIAs. The people that want to go out there and get it, they go get it. Wholesaling is never going to come to you. And if it frightens you and you're scared, it just you need a repetition. How do you get repetition? Talk to as many sellers as possible that need to sell their house. Don't waste your time on people wanting to sell your house, because they will destroy your confidence. And remember, we're not selling them a damn thing. Let me ask you this. You ever needed something so bad? If you needed some way to get to work, either a bike or like an old car, you didn't need a salesman. Just find me a reliable car and give me a few options how I can get this done. That's all I need. Now, if I want to buy a Lamborghini, that's something I want, right?
It's true.
I need a salesman. You know what? You know what the salesman's job is? To stroke my ego on how good that's going to make me feel. And there's a tremendous difference, guys. Most of the time, we're helping sellers get out of their own way. I've walked in the houses with holes in the roof, extension cords coming over from the neighbors, and they go, I'm fine. I go, you're not fine. Let me help you. Let's get to the root of the problem, what's going on here. Now, I got to get them to tell me the story behind the real estate. And once they open up to me and I gain their trust and I earn it, then we can help the seller solve a problem. And so at the end of the day, guys, you have to get in repetitions in this business, and you just keep showing up. And every time it's just like a little notch on your belt. You're like, okay, now I know what to say. And the crazy thing is, there's only really about 6 objections in all of wholesaling. That's it, guys. I'm just telling you. You guys, most of the time I go, oh my God, there's like 1,000 objections. There's not. There's 6 fundamental ones that pretty much come up. And you know what? Price is not really an objection. If you got someone has a motivating factor it needs to sell, you have to earn their trust and solve their problem. And then you figure out a price that wins for you and wins for the seller. And keep in mind, it's got to win for your cash buyer at the end of the day. Guys, everything's in your power. You just the thing is, Zach knows I don't like cold calling, but he'll knows I'll do it because I can talk to anyone. I just get bored. I'll lose my mind off people that aren't motivated to talk to me. And I start playing around with them. It becomes like a comedy show. To me, I want to talk to 100 motivated sellers. I would rip through that. The reality is, if I call 100, there's maybe 5 that I can even talk to. And my ADHD will not let me get through that half the time. So that's not my method of operation. But I'm willing to tell you, you've got to be willing to make those calls. If you're going to make cold calling your method to delivering a message, you just got to go through. I always tell people, go call 100 people, call me back. Then call 500, call me back. And if you ever ask me or Zach, how many calls do I have to make to get my first deal? It's a horrible question. How many times are you going to fall down when your parents are teaching to walk before you quit? How many steps do I have to take before I walk? I don't know. It could be a million. You know what? Here's the reality. You might not ever be able to walk, but if you want it, you will. Same thing in wholesaling. If you really want it and you'll put the work in, it's just a question of how many sellers I have to get through. So I've seen people get through 2 sellers, rare, don't please. And I've seen people get through 50,000 sellers. Yeah. What's the difference? They didn't quit. And if you don't quit, you'll survive. If you go, how many cold calls do I have to make before I get my first deal? Dude, you're already done before you made your first cold call, because you have an expiration. And when you have an expiration, you quit. The only way you screw up in wholesaling is you quit, or you try. Change your should and your tries into a must. There's a reason you guys brush your teeth every day. I hope to God you brush your teeth every day. You do it because you don't want cavities, you don't want bad breath, and you want to look good for your significant others. But as kids, we had to learn the hard way what happens when we don't do it. I know I did.
There we go. So it's all about confidence. So again, what I tell you is to build some confidence getting started. I always say, you get nervous because you're like, are they going to say a question I don't know the answer to? Well, here's the thing. If you know these things, you're going to sound way better on the phone. So first and foremost, who are you? My name is Zach, and me and my partners are looking to buy properties in the area for cash. if you have that fundamentally down pat in your mind, you're going to sound a lot better. What do you want? My name's Zach, and I'm looking to buy houses in the city. Why do you want to buy them? Well, my partner are looking to buy houses for rentals. Sometimes we buy and flip the property if it needs a little more work. It really depends on the property. See, the reason I'm asking you this, and the reason why I'm saying this is most people get super nervous because they're scared those 3 questions are going to be asked. And if you already know how to answer them, who you are, what do you want, and why do you want it, I mean, you're going to sound way more confident instantly, right?
Yeah.
It's simple. You're going to sound way more confident out here.
When you're hunting the words in your head, your sellers know it.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? If you're not confident in yourself, how do you expect the seller to be confident in you? It's a funny story. When Zach started out wholesaling, he's like, what am I going to do when I have to meet with him? Like my age, I go, and I never made his age a big deal. Now,
No,
secretly, it was an issue, but I didn't let that get in his head, because the minute I created that obstacle for him, he was going to make it a huge barrier to entry. I go, does your age bother you? And I always tell, like I tell you guys on this live stream, I told my son, your age is your asset. And what you lack in experience, you can make up in enthusiasm and excitement to help people out. Have you ever wanted to get that new guy or girl, just maybe you went to buy a car or something, they were so helpful, but they didn't know everything. You just wanted to give them a shot. People will do that for you in wholesaling if you will come with a great attitude and do everything in your power to make it a wonderful experience. And you've got to understand, Zach kept saying, what about my age? I go, son, the age is only an issue if you think it's an issue. Dad, do you think it's an issue? I go, no. Now, I knew it was an issue, but I didn't let that get in his head. And he never, ever, and like he would like take down 90-year-old men, like, you're so young. How on you're what do they call you, wet behind the ears, or whatever the saying was. I'm just like, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
And I used to go to, like, even my wife at the time, she's like, how is he going to close that? I go, he'll figure it out. I go, if it's, we put so many obstacles in our head. If you look at your youth as an asset, first of all, you're going to live longer than most of us are. And you're going to learn much quicker, much faster. And you're going to have more enthusiasm because you want to get to the top and you'll do anything to get there. It's like dethroning the king. And that's how you have to look at it if you're starting out in wholesaling. And if you'll take that attitude, guys, you can do anything. But the minute someone goes, yeah, your age is an issue, I think you can't close this deal, he'd be like, oh, crap. So
I was closing people left and right. So I like showing this picture. So I used to have people that used to think I couldn't. I legitimately had people say, you're too young. I'm not going to go with you. And so what I did was, when I started closing these sellers, I just do videos and pictures with them. And I had on my Facebook, I so many testimonials on myself. That's like, okay. So some of us say, you're a little young. I'm like, well, here's my Facebook. Go look it up. They look it up and they're like, oh, wow, you close a lot. Yeah. So this is what I used to do. Look how young I was. This was a younger time. Look how baby, this was me with a seller. I'm trying to show. Yeah. Look at this. This is me with a seller. I did a little testimonial with them.
Like
look at that. Look at that. Look at this picture. Isn't that ridiculous? Look how young I was. I think I was 17, 18. I was 18 in this picture. Look at that. Look how skinny those arms are. Like, look at this. I got to show right here. Look at this. Just right.
Anyways, guys, your age,
it don't matter.
Like, whatever you think your kryptonite is, turn it into your asset. Like, I like to go deep with people, and Zach's always like, why do you spend so much time with people? But when he sees the deals I get, he's like, holy crap. Like, that's amazing. And so you got to take your strength, like whatever your weakness is, and just turn it into a strength. Like, I always said, like, well, talking to people, like, I spend too much time with them. You actually can gain the most trust by doing that. So whatever it is, if you're super funny and you can make people laugh, if you can memorize everybody's names, remember like cool facts, just find out like what it is you can emphasize. Because a lot of times, like I already tell you guys, like my ADHD, I didn't even know I had it until one of you guys diagnosed me. But the reality is, what is most people's Achilles tendon is my superpower, because I can do one thing and I can do it like I have crystal clear vision. But keep in mind, if I try to do 5 things, I can get overwhelmed, and I know it. So I cater to it. And so in my wholesaling that's why for 7 years, I just went door to door. I sold everybody. I started doing it virtually, and I was really good at it. But I did it too long, but honestly, it all worked out well because it gave me the ability to get more experience than most of the average people in wholesaling. And I can share that wisdom and I can share those techniques and help everybody out here.
There we go. It's absolutely crazy. So I was a youngin. My husband making a lot of money wholesaling. And so if you know these things, you're going to sound a lot better. Again, 80% of acquisitions is listening. Speak, but listen. 20% is you talking and asking these questions. So I tell everyone, avoid these bad words. Again, investor, contract, sign. Don't say any real estate lingo to a seller. You're going to sound way better. And make sure your tone and tonality sound really good. Match the seller's energy going out here. Have a smile. And I'll be honest, it's not even the words you say, it's how you say it. Okay. That's what it's all about. All right. Now, how do you build trust with a motivated seller? Again, I recommend the Ford method. Use some humor. So what's the Ford method? If you want to go talk to a seller, build some rapport. Ford method stands for FORD, which is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So talk about the person's family, their occupation, what they do for a living, recreation, what they like to do for fun, and dreams, where they want to be in the future. And you're going to sound a lot better talking to motivated sellers over the phone. And then very important here, and one of my most important things here, is right when a seller says, I want to sell my property, and before you give them an offer, you need to go out here and condition them. Again, the reason why I tell people to condition motivated sellers is that you do not want to be friend zoned. So let's go over an example. Okay. Go out here and give me an offer on a property without conditioning me.
Zachary, take $100,000 for that property.
I'll think about it.
What do you have to think about?
I just got to think about it.
How long do you need to think about it?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
Can I give you a day?
No, I'll get back to you when I get back to you. Bye.
Couple days?
Click.
Yeah.
Wow. Killing it out there. Guys, and then what are you going to call me back? Do you want to sell now? No? Okay, I'll come back.
I'll come back.
And that is that how you're good at acquisitions? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that is like absolute clown closing. All right. I call it clown closing. All right. Double Chanel, double C's clown closing here. Do not close sellers like that. You sound stupid. Okay. Just being honest. Okay. Think about it.
They put you in the friend zone. They option you.
So what I always do is you just want to avoid the maybe. I'll think about it. It's just, there's nothing you can say to someone that wants to think about it. So what I always say, and 95% of the time they say yes, is say, hey, Mr. Seller, before I go out to the property, or if you're virtual, it's like, hey, before we go further and I give you an offer, are you ready to make a yes or no decision on selling the property? They either say yes or no, right? They either say yes or no. And at that point, you're good to go. Because if you give the offer and you say, no, I don't like it, guess what happens? You renegotiate. And if they say yes, you sign a contract. It's kind of a win-win to a point. But the maybe is the literal worst thing you can do. So again, here's my script. Hey, before I come out to the house, I don't want to waste your time or my time. And I'm usually very busy. And I know you're busy too. I usually come by and look at the property once. So before I come out, I just want to make sure that you are ready to make a yes or decision on selling the property before we agree on anything on, obviously, the day boy. So like on Monday or Tuesday, we're never coming out to the appointment, right? That is how you do it the right way. Now, either you do it over the phone virtually, the appointment, or you do it really kind of just in person. But you go to the house early, you walk around the house, point some things out. The way I describe it is like, act like you're buying a car. You do not need when you buy a car, you don't have to be the expert on cars.
No.
You can say, hey, the color, like you can point some things out, but don't pretend like you're this master mechanic. All right. Then from there, build some rapport, get to the closing. That's it. So there's a couple closing lines me and Rick really like. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna actually skip these. There's really, for most people starting out, I would just say focus on two closing methods. There's the price anchor and the reverse price anchor. Those are the two simple closing methods that's how everyone to do. So what is a price anchor? How about you do the price anchor? I'll give the reverse price anchor. So price anchor, like, so the way you describe price anchor would be perfect world. That's the way you describe it. So like, hey, in the perfect world, I'd buy for this.
You want me to do the full one or the abbreviated?
Abbreviated. And you can do a full one too. I mean,
well, I like to do like the whole thing when I do it, but when I'm price anchoring, I'm just trying to focus on what the seller's needs are and what they do. Yeah. And I said, Mr. Seller, if I could do this and I could close on your property and get it done by the end of the month, and we could pay all cash and get the deal done, I'm just trying to anchor them on the terms of the deal and everything they want to accomplish. I always go back and look when a seller initially reaches out to me. I always look in there like, what was the reason they called me? And if you guys will tie that into every one of your closings, closings become much easier because remember, I can't convince them to do something they don't want to do. I
No.
just got to pull it out of them and find out what they want. And if you want to be with mom on Christmas Day in whatever, Montgomery, Alabama, and if I can get you there and I can pay all cash to the house, we can skip those lengthy inspections. You know the exact amount you get, which what am I doing? I'm giving certainty. I'm giving you speed, and I'm giving you super convenience. You don't have to think about this at all. This is all going to be set. I got to come by and take a look at the house probably one or two more times, and we can go ahead. If we could go ahead and move with that, if I can give you this offer, this amount, whatever the dollar amount is, can we move forward with that today? Because I believe that's the best path to get you with your mom, get everything you need to do, and get you on your way. Guys, you have to sell the vision. So many of you guys just hang on the price. It's a joke. Focus on the outcome that the seller wants to achieve. You're never going to win on price in wholesaling, ever, ever. But you have to buy it for the right price that makes sense. We don't work for free. I'm giving speed. I'm giving convenience. And the most important thing, if you can anchor those two with certainty, you can do anything you want. But I'm always going to find out, why did they call me? My house is in foreclosure. I've lost my job. I can't afford to pay. It's stressful. And I need to know where my kids are going to be, where they're going to go to school. And then I just let them talk, find out what their game plan is, where I find out when they want to move. I find out where they want to move. I find out if they want to rent, if they want to rebuy. And I collect all that information. Guess what, guys? You know who gives you the information? The seller does.
They do.
And all price anchoring does is take all the information. Because so, Mr. Seller, if I can get you out of here by the end of the month and get you with your mom, get you over there by Christmas, and we can get your kids with you, keep the family together, because that's the most important thing. And I can do this for this price, and we get it done by this date. Is that something we can go ahead and move forward today? And then they'll probably ask a few more questions, and then I go, I get it. Now, when they ask it, they go, maybe they have a problem with the price, or maybe just the length of the contract or something like that. I go, I tell you what, if I could up it for 1 week, can you go ahead and sign this deal today? Do you see? So if when someone goes to me, goes, well, can't you just close it in like 3 weeks? If you go like this, okay, now you become the puppet, and they're gonna go, oh wow, that was pretty easy. Let me see if I can get some more from them. I go, I tell you what, if I could do that theoretically, can you go ahead and sign the contract today? Guys, how you get people to commit and move forward with a closing on a sale, it's not this master closing word technique. It's about leveraging their own information to accomplish the goals that the seller wants to reach. You have to get it out of them. The only way you get out of them is you earn their trust. You have to earn it. And then you get data from them and let them tell you the story behind why the property is vacant, why it's in foreclosure. And once I get that, all I do is repeat it back to them in a nice theoretical order from what they want to accomplish. And you know what they go, oh my God, how do you come up with that? That makes really, really good sense. A bad wholesaler just says, we take 100,000, we take 100,000, you take 100,000. You didn't solve any damn problems. You're nothing more than a cash buyer. That has nothing to do with wholesaling. Earn their trust, listen to the story behind the real estate, repeat it back to them, let them accomplish what they want, hit them with a low price, negotiate it through it, and then just re-anchor the terms, just like I did there. And you can get any deal. But remember, there has to be motivation. This does not work on normal MLS sellers with a realtor, because they don't have the same objective for the type of people we're looking at a motivated seller.
It's true. So that's how you do it. Again, you could also do a more traditional price anchor. It's like, hey, Mr. Seller, in the perfect world, I would want to buy this for around 200,000. And then you like get the reaction. That works pretty good too. I don't like that one because they usually still blame you if you do that. And so my favorite lowball is the reverse price anchor. So basically we anchor it towards somebody else. So I kind of throw you under the bus, but I'm like, hey, Mr. Seller, I was talking to my partner, Rick. He said he wanted to buy the property for around 200,000. Oh my gosh, I know he's crazy. He's nuts. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking. I'm the decision maker here.
Yeah.
And then you just you spat out the price, sell their reaction to it without really doing anything.
And it takes the pressure off, because You're like, I'm the good guy here. I'm trying to help out. Listen, everybody's got somebody to answer to a point. I love when
Yeah.
people kind of make fun of the good. You're lying to them. No, it's not. Like there's always, everybody's trying to buy the property for low, period. End of story. And if you're going to overpay for the property, you're really screwing the seller over because you're not going to be able to fulfill it. No one's going to overpay for it knowing you can't find a cash buyer for it. So do the right thing, help the sellers out. We could sit here and go on 4 hours on techniques. It's like endless. Why? Because I have a lot of experience talking to sellers over the last 23 years. Some of you just got to get started and get on there. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. This isn't like school. You're going to get some F's. You need F's. Remember, the path to success is through failure. You've been taught your entire life, success is without failure. You can't have success without having multiple failures. You just want to minimize the catastrophic point of your failures. And those of you guys that did the 9-to-5 jobs, I experienced 12 years of massive failures. And I believe wholesaling is the gateway to get you financially free and get freedom of your time back.
It is. And then again, if you're virtually doing this, stay on the phone until the e-signature is signed. Never get off the phone until it gets signed. Then from there, you're going to do your inbound leads for your follow-up. So again, if you have leads coming in and you got to follow up, this is always my process. For virtual wholesaling, you qualify them, follow up, you qualify. You still qualify, you set the appointment, follow up, you set the ready, condition, offer. That's kind of my sequence on there. And then dispositions, finding cash buyers. This is the easiest one, guys. I mean, this one's so dang simple. You want to find, once you write up a contract, you want to find people who want to buy them from you. Just get, like, literally, you give people what they want. Now, you might not believe this, but this is crazy, but there are human beings who are super rich. They just want to buy rental properties and flip properties all day. They will buy as many as you give to them. All they want to do is buy properties. It's all they want to dang do all dang day. So the really cool thing is you can service them and give them what they want, right? They want properties, you give them to them and you make money. Now, if you have no money, I would highly recommend these free strategies. So you go to Zillow, you can call the 4 rents, say, hey, Mr. Landlord guy. Say, hey, is this the owner 123 Main Avenue? Yes, it is. Hey, I'm actually not looking to rent out your property. I'm actually looking to sell a deal I got. I'm actually a wholesaler looking to buy any more rentals. Yes, I am, son. I did a video yesterday where I did a whole live call doing this and just showing how easy it is. Facebook groups, there's a lot of good real estate, basically Facebook groups. A lot of them are like not legit though. A lot of people claim to be buyers. They're not buyers. I'll share what to say there. There's plenty of realtors you can talk to that have cash buyers, or you can joint venture with people in our community instead of freeholston.com. Now, if you have some money, I would recommend you just literally go to X Leads and use our buyer match AI. It's really quick. So if you have the X plan, you can literally, or Pro plan, you can literally just click a button and all the buyers pop up with AI. It's pretty cool. Go to xleads.com and show you how to do that. You can pull a cash buyers list on X Leads and call them up. Basically on the Dispo tab, you can go to the Flipper tab, the Landlord tab, do it. Scrape the double closing list. We have that on X Leads, and you'll find buyers really dang quick from there. And then when you find somebody who says they are a cash buyer, what you want to do is make sure they're actually legit. All right. There's a lot of people that claim to be cash buyers that are not legitimate. So the questions I always ask is, number one, can I see your purchase history? So have you bought any houses in 2025? If somebody says I'm looking to buy more houses and they have not bought any houses, they're not legitimate. Or if their name's not on the deed, watch out. Make sure if they actually work with wholesalers. Are they okay with us making a big assignment fee? Will they work with our assignment, basically our title company, so we can do the assignments the right way? And roughly, what is their buy box? It's also a very important one to do too. So where are they looking to buy? What areas they're looking to buy? You don't want to send someone a deal that's not in their buy box. Then if they're legit, you write up a contract for a property, right? And then to sell it, you want to go call the buyer up and then send the deal. Now, this is where people get very confused. Wait, so you're telling me, Zach, I can email info about the property, but I can't email blast? No. The way I basically describe this is you have your deal, right? And you need to keep that address secret for as much as you possibly can. And so the way I describe it is you get the property under contract. You're going to call your buyer up, like Jordan Belfort selling a stock, and say, Rick, I have the greatest opportunity right now.
Yeah.
I have an address, 123 Main Avenue. It can be yours for 75. Do you want to buy the deal from me? You locked you up for 30. You're going to make 45 grand. Can you email me some? Yeah, email you some pictures right now. Let me know what you think. And they're going to say yes or no. Most of them say, yeah, I'm all in on this, or they're not. The biggest scam I see is people just, email blast 3,000 people. Not good. You want to call them up individually. Make it, hey, I didn't talk to you. You're the first guy. Hey, I'm calling you. This is your deal if you want to take it. If not, I'll go to the next person. There's a little bit of salesmanship in here. That's kind of gone away. It's stupid. You're treating your contracts like eBay. It don't work like that. So stupid. Then from there, you walk them through. You sign the assignment of contract, which you have in freeholsing.com, and boom, you're into wholesaling. So guys, if you want to go out here and kind of get some more info, again, you just go to freeholsing.com, our info community. We have an AI coach. We have downloads, scripts, tips, all those things. Just go to freeholsing.com.